Defamation lawsuit filed against PNP caretaker for Southeast St. Catherine, Dr. Alfred Dawes. JCF reporting fake criminal records on the rise. A defamation suit was filed on Monday by Central Kingston Member of Parliament Donovan Williams and Meditech against PNP caretaker for Southeast St. Catherine, Dr. Alfred Dawes. It follows allegations made against them in relation to the purchase of a $31 million neurosurgical drill. The defamation suit was jointly filed in the Supreme Court yesterday. They are seeking, among other things, damages for defamation, including exemplary damages as well as claims for special damages. They have also applied for an injunction restraining Dr. Dawes, whether by himself, his servants or agents or otherwise, from further publishing similar statements defamatory of them.
A negative name. Them is freedom fighter. Them want to see the end to American imperialism and French imperialism in them country for how much years? For years. And this is how them choose to do it. Apparently some people are get hit in the crossfire. Some people are get hit in the crossfire. But that don't negate the fact is that these people want some freedom. And we see Jamaica every time some of them come refugee here, the government turn them back for go back to them country. Can you imagine that? Jamaica sign agreement to take refugees who have flee from them country because of threat to them safety and them family. And Jamaica decides, say, oh, we're sending them back, you know, we're not on phone. No. Terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. This is the stepping razor. Yes, so we are saying, we live in another time now where we can't take certain things for granted again. Like you can't just go up on a plane again and just sit down with your luggage and all them stuff there where you have all 2 luggage, 3 luggage and it's overweight and all them something there. They might check it. If you have certain charger for charge your computer now, they might tell you, say, you can't carry it on the plane, you have to put it on the plane. You know, them have instill the idea, you know, the little thing where you put your bag in, have to say, if it can't fit in, the luggage can't fit in there, the carry-on, them are pressure it now. A pressure it now, you know, them tell you to put your bag in there, and if it not whole, you have to check it on. And if you have too much in your hand, you have some people have knapsack, them have them luggage, a roll them luggage, you know, them roller, them have them knapsack on their back, and them have a bag with them just buy some things. Them want to tell you to go back downstairs, go check. Them not easy. Them not easy. They want to tell you to go back downstairs, go check it. So make sure you're not late for the plane. It's a weird times, man. Weird. Well, I remind you about a feature we have on this program. We started 2 weeks ago. This is the 3rd week. It's about the People's Court, where we call in a lawyer and deal with that topic and make them explain it to the people them. Because there's enough things that we're ignorant of as it relates to the law in Jamaica. That's why I hold it away. Getting us some unnecessary problems with the law. Yes. And I can know that you have a lot of police out there. Even though them is police, there's certain things that them don't know either. So this is about giving you an idea of what it is all about. So at 4 o'clock, that is when we have this feature, the People's Court. Yes, we're there with you. So, we want to heal up Dipstick. Hey, Dipstick, no bother with that, you know, brethren. No bother with that. Dipstick, no bother with that, you know. Okay, all right. You notice, every day now you hear some politician attack, especially the governing party. It's like them just control the airwaves. JLP FM, them a beard. Yeah, JLP FM all over the nation, man. Me I tell you. The Prime Minister get enough things to talk about now, and the things that them are going to do, the bus them, the road them, everything I go fix now before September, you know. And some you know say politician no easy, you know. And then them a fight one another, Because now we hear about this machine where them bring in at the island, and then we hear say it costs so much million, and then the other one I say another the machine where them talk about it couple thousand it costs, and I fix it, it go fix, and it come back, and pure confusion, you know. And if you listen to them, you know, you get confused like them. Because you don't know who I tell the lie from who I tell the lie, because you know. Anytime them I tell lie, you know, for one another, you know, none of them now back down, you know. I mean, I read last night, and them I say, you ever notice, say, none of them no back down, and them go on until, you know, you hear nothing more about it. Nothing. Because right now, this thing is upon the stack, you know, where one of them I say a lie, and them have papers to prove it. And even though him I say my papers to prove it, the other one I say, him now back down from where him I say. Because him know where him I say. So, what we if do as public? What we if do as the public now when we hear all them things there? Prime Minister talk about the grand environment where them build up, and how poor people, less poor people about now, more people in jobs. Why may I tell you? Coming at it's GIS set out the article, which is a government agency, and the headline say Jamaica experiencing strongest economy since independence. As the Prime Minister said that. And if you have been listening all around, you know that the Prime Minister left everywhere. As a matter of fact, him did down a Calabash. Him did down a Calabash in a day, but it make him presence felt right now because election have come round. Prime Minister Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness says Jamaica is now experiencing its strongest economy since gaining independence. Speaking during his 2025-2026 budget debate presentation in the House of Representatives on March 20th, Dr. Holness highlighted Jamaica's notable economic achievements. These include significant reduction in the debt to gross domestic product, that is GDP ratio, record low unemployment, controlled inflation, and a stable currency exchange rate. Dr. Holness advised that with the debt to GDP ratio falling to approximately 68.7%, the government remains on track to meet its target of 60% by March 2028, reinforcing the nation's long-term fiscal sustainability. He also highlighted the sharp decline in the unemployment rate, which dropped from 13.7% in 2016 to a historic low of 3.5%, signifying near full employment. The Prime Minister pointed out that youth unemployment, which previously stood at a troubling 32%, has seen a significant decrease. Young people who once faced limited opportunities now see doors opening. Mothers and fathers who struggled to make ends meet are now securing stable employment, he said. Meanwhile, Dr. Holness reported that Jamaica's annual inflation rate now stands at 4.4%, to be within the Bank of Jamaica's BOJ 4 to 6% target range. All right, we're not going to read no more. You get the picture. Everything is rosy. That is the picture. Everything is rosy. So, a couple of days after, a businessman by the name, well, him run the office of but in furniture. Omar Hassan, Chief Executive Officer. Omar Hassan, listen to this, because it's the Prime Minister said what we just read a while ago. Now this is a businessman I said, we're going to read there now. And if you don't feel something wrong with all of these things we are going, and the people, they must be confused. All right, so the Chief Executive Officer of Boss Furniture, Omar Hassan, says the Jamaican economy is in the worst position it has ever been and has blamed poor economic policies for the country's stagnant growth. Who must believe, brethren and sisters? Who must believe? This is the rosy picture by the Prime Minister, and this is a businessman now. We're having business. Him say it is in a worse position. Economic policy has been blamed for poor economic policies for the country's stagnant growth. Mr. Hassan's negative view of the economy comes against the background of discussions on the failure of the commercial bank to reduce their lending rates to their customers, despite the Bank of Jamaica reducing its policy rate. Following a further reduction in the policy rate last week from 6% to 5.75%, BOJ Governor Richard Biles and Finance Minister Favourable Williams urged commercial banks to follow suit. Mr. Hassan said the BOJ and policymakers need to shoulder some of the blame. He believed the BOJ took too long to reduce its rates while trying to control inflation, adding that policymakers need to intervene to change the culture of banking in Jamaica. And him quote, is a quote here, I'm not saying I'm not blaming the commercial bank because they have a big part to play in lowering their rates. But what I'll say to you, just like any other businesses operating out there, when you have a devalued currency and a dollar move to 165 or 162 US, and you buy your goods and services or your raw materials and you bring it in, it takes a while for the pass-through effect to take place. So, I'm not sure how the banking sector operates and if there's a timing thing that needs to happen. But yes, the Bank of Jamaica need to pressure them. I think more needs to be done to get our rates and policies in place to allow banks to lend money, to allow businesses to be competitive on the global sphere, he asserted. Turning to the state of economy, Mr. Hassan said businesses and consumers are struggling due to high interest rates. He said banks will soon be in the similar position. Everything is going to start going haywire. And I'm going to tell you something. The government better call election quickly because the balloon is about to blow. The economy is in the worst position that I have ever seen it in my 30 odd years of business. This is more than the age of the Prime Minister. The man said the economy is in the worst position that I have ever seen. It is in my 30 odd years of business. The buying power is the weakest. I agree. Remittance are down. Tourism is struggling. Everything is struggling. And what are we doing? We are doing things to stifle the economy with our monetary policies coming from the Bank of Jamaica and the Minister of Finance. People out there that are living and working in Jamaica may all seem fine and dandy when the politicians step out on stage and speak high and mighty of how great the economy is doing. But look at how many hungry people are out there that are struggling. How many businesses are finding it hard, right? So we need to start waking up the government, the opposition, he want. I'm not going to read no more. You get the picture. You get the picture. Two different view of the same thing. No. We all know that when the elections will come, politicians find the best things to tell the people them to get vote. This man I will name Azan is a businessman. I is a consumer. I now produce the things them where I buy every day. It's like America. America consume. America not a product. Them not produce things, but them consume things. And Trump is an idiot because him have to buy the things them. And him get something for it. Him say, them a rob. If you buy something from somebody and you get the thing, what is the robbery in that? You use the money for as trade and you get something for it. Anyway, this man here, when name Azana say, look here, if you go buy things right now, it can't sky high. No, almost Jamaican now go tell you say I chew him attack when come out to going into supermarket for go a market, go buy food. Almost Jamaican now go tell you that. Me I go tell you say I chew that. I don't know about the physical this and the percentage, this and the GDP, this and all them something there, but the reality, the practicality, because most of the things that the Prime Minister talk about is where we talk about in the house. We talk about on the road now, on the street, where the people them not understand them language there. What them understand is that when them go in at the supermarket, when them go to market, when them go in a shop to buy something, and them look, them have to put it down. And them have to buy the something and forget about something else where them did want. Something wrong. So how can a man be so far out? A businessman can be so far out of the loop. And the Prime Minister can't so be so glorious of an achievement as Prime Minister. Unemployment is down. What him call unemployment, what him call employment, that is really the thing, you know. I want to know if them count the man them was sell coconut on the road as employed, or the youth them will wipe the windshield, if that is employment. It's really a strange thing. Really a strange. We have to think about it. And all who know are run up and down with the PNP or GLP, who know think on it. Think on what the Prime Minister say, and think on what Mr. Azana say, and who the nearer to the reality of your life. That is what we are dealing with. Which one of the argument is realer in your life? Because it's too long, too much things them do. And as election comes so, you hear say, ratted, you know, so we go bill, we will have this for bill, and we go bill how much, me hear one of them attack say, we have how much, how this and that for go bill. And them tell the people, them never go bill it all the while, but now them go bill it. Oh, it reach. How them get the money so fast? How them get the money so fast? We all do all these things now. And them never have the money all the while. But now them have the money. And them can come out on the radio, big and bold, and say, this is what them have to do. Look at St. Elizabeth. You know how much things me hear them go do at St. Elizabeth? You know how much things me hear them go do at St. Elizabeth? And all the things we are going on at St. Elizabeth, you know, private people are do it, you know. Private people are do it, and no government. And private people are do a whole heap of the things them. I mean, I understand it. And the people them fall for it every time. Every time the people them fall for it. And that just goes on and on and on and on. May I tell you, trust me, man. And may I give them kudos, you know. I'm glad say the murder rate gone down, you know. Me not fight against that. I'm glad say the murder rate gone down. But when you go in at the supermarket, when you go in at the market, when you go in any store if you go buy something, where them are saying in Parliament no have no significance or relevance to the man on the street. Employment gone up, unemployment gone down. I don't see the difference. I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, them do them survey and them books this and them book that and them education, show them this and show them that. But the reality, ask the woman who dep on the street from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, a one school gate, I sell little sweetie and little this and that, and ask her if her life change since the government in power. The cane man when me know, I see him on the road I sell cane all long. And I know that he want to sell cane all the while. But I saw him making money. All them people used to pack up long town. I sell Chinese clothes and this and this and that. I feel them job that. I want if them is the one them where them call employed in the percentage where them talk about. You think I lie? Cocotte. If you know, all right, I said that. I'm gonna call her name. I don't know if you call her name. I'm gonna call her name. I hear say the station locked down. Special feature here, People's Court, where we're bringing the lawyer to tell you about certain things. Yeah, certain things. And this lawyer we're talking to, we're going to talk about police and the motorists. Your right, understanding your rights when police stop you, what you must do, and all these things. So, soon. And as we say, we have a special feature here, People's Court, where we bring in a lawyer and try to make him tell you about your rights. And this week we're going to talk about understanding motorist rights when stopped by a police in Jamaica. Because people don't know what they're supposed to do. When the police stop you, you can't get nervous and make it look like you're guilty or something where you're not really guilty or nothing. You understand? So we want you to listen and figure it out. Because sometimes you're not guilty, but your face show guilt. Yes, it's a psychological thing. Your face show guilt, and your face show guilt now, him start to get more aggressive. Yes, they can start to get more aggressive. That is what they want to do. They want to aggress you. So we have a lawyer here, attorney at law, Charles Ganga Singh. I hope I pronounce it right.
Greetings, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon.
Good morning
Okay.
and afternoon.
All right. So we want to discuss the topic of what is it, the rights on the road, understanding motorist rights when stopped by a police in Jamaica. Can you just give a little overview? Like just...
All right. Let me give you a little overview and do it in a layman terms.
Yes.
The Constitution of Jamaica, and Jamaica has a written constitution, by the way, gives citizens certain rights. But let us focus on the right in question that we're addressing. The right of freedom of movement without having to present a pass. That is an entrenched freedom that the citizens of Jamaica have. And there's no condition to that, except if you are a threat to national security, an impending threat, a suspected threat, or an obvious threat. All right? So if you are driving in your vehicle, obeying the road code, not driving beyond the speed limit, and going about your business, whatever business it is, whether to buy something at the grocery, go look to girl or whatever, you are free to move up and down to do whatever you want without having to provide anyone with a pass to say
explanation involving that.
Well, give me a scenario.
Well, you drive down Constant Spring Road.
Yes.
And do nothing, broke no supplies, go over speed and nothing. And the police say, just give a signal for go over the corner of the road.
Yes.
And when you go over the corner of the road now, he might try to go where to tell you, and they say, where am I do, brethren?
Exactly.
He might say, I want to see your license. You have to give me license, you have to show me license if he not tell you.
No, you don't. As a lawyer, I give it out of courtesy.
Okay.
Maybe because when they know there's ganga sing, then we just stop wasting my time.
Yeah.
But you are not obliged to provide any pass. Your ID is considered a pass.
Yeah.
You can say, officer, do you suspect me of doing anything illegally?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you need me to stop?
Stop, yes. And him said, I just want to see your pass and your registration. That's what I want to see.
All right, first thing.
We not log it right, so no, because...
First thing, they can use your license number to check your registration. You don't have to provide that for them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. And want the ID now. Maybe I know your car.
Well, if they want your ID, it means that theoretically then, it means that they are suspecting that you are driving a vehicle that is not yours. Okay? So they need to present that to you to say, I am stopping you on the basis that you look like a pauper. Why are you driving this expensive Benz?
Mercedes Benz, yeah.
Yes.
They can't tell him, say, no, I'm not a pauper, bro. You know, see, I jokes myself. But
you can tell him that, of course.
No, but
if they can't prove that you actually sell drugs, you can say anything you want.
Yeah?
Yes. You see, just the average Jamaican doesn't understand his rights. Maybe because from the top to the bottom, don't follow the law. You know? So, people tend to be abused when these situations happen.
Hello?
Yeah. All right, for example, I will show you how hypocritical the system is. You go up to Stony Hill, where those big houses are. You see any police stopping any of those people who appear to be living up there?
No. Well, you know. I bet you say Cherry Garden, look, I'm live a Stony Hill, and they stop me all the while. They stop me all the while when I pass. I see car line up there with them stop. So, we don't know. But by the way,
yes.
Them can't stop more than one car at the same time. How that go?
They can stop as many cars as they want, yes. If they have
if it's two police there, them just line up 4 or 5 cars stop and I mean, how that go?
It goes back to they can stop any number, whether 1, 2, 3, or 4, but they have to have the grounds on which to stop and to demand a search.
Yeah. And you can refuse the search.
You can refuse the search. You see, part of this, is a civil society scenario where you are obliging the police to do their job, which they claim they are doing. And say, all right, sir, the registration shows that it's John Brown who owned this car. I am the John Brown. See my ID for the sake of civil living. You're not obliged to do it. So a lot of functions that the police do, it is the citizens who, out of having a civil society, can facilitate these things. But there's nothing in law that obliges them to tell the police that...
Nothing.
That here is my pass, my ID to say I'm John Brown. unless the police can say specifically on what basis they suspect me of driving a vehicle that I have no authority to drive.
Yeah. So the police
and
know.
then if that now reaches the court, they need to show that before the time they stopped you, they had legitimate grounds or a report that says that this vehicle was being driven, having been stolen.
A stolen vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. When the police stop a taxi man,
yes,
right, and them say him have too much people in a all right, no, I'm gonna put it another way.
yes.
When you're in a car, well, look like a taxi, it have on a red plate,
yes,
right, and you have 4 people in the car, and 4 including the driver. You have 2 in the front and 2 in the back.
yes.
And when the police stop you, him say, boy, you don't know, so enough you have so much people in a taxi. And you tell him, say, I know taxi this.
Yeah.
Him say, and him say, I tell you exactly where I go on. Him say, then, oh, you mean I know taxi this? Them don't know, say, taxi this, you know, say, I have 4 people in the car. Him say, but, oh, you mean, them not right, me have a right, we have 4 people in the car, and 4 people carry. Oh, you work out that with a police on the road?
Well, I have quite a few cases like that, where I have a perfect example of a lady who happens to be a taxi driver, but on that day she was not driving her taxi. She was driving another vehicle, taking her family members.
She have red plate on it? She have red
no
plate?
No plate.
Okay.
She was not on a taxi mission, but because the officers pictured her and know her as a taxi lady in the room, but she was taking her family members to some 99 thing. All right? Straight up legitimate. They stopped the vehicle, impounded the vehicle, and caused her a lot of stress. Jamaican.
So what can she do in a case like that now? Because
the problem if she wins the case, which she's going to win it, she can now sue the government.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For the inconvenience.
Yes.
The imprisonment. Because imprisonment don't necessarily mean behind bars.
Lock your bars, Just
detaining you have imprisoned me. Stopping me from going on my legitimate business for a few hours or a few minutes. You have imprisoned me.
All right. Okay. So next scenario. You drive on the highway.
Yes.
And you see the police hold up him him speedometer in front of the car, right? And you look on your speedometer and you say you go 50 on a 80 kilometer road. And when him go so, and him pull over, and when you go over there, him say you're speeding, and you say, but officer, my speedometer say 50 me I go, and when I see the sign on the say 80. Oh, you work that out?
Well, there are many scenarios like that every day.
Well, find them out what to do,
Police officers stop people claiming, it happens to me too, claiming that I'm speeding when I'm not. You see, I'm going to talk openly here but at the same time, you have a lot of good police officers, so I don't want police officers out there.
You don't want to brand them, but you know them dead.
No. They are officers who will harass you on the highway, even when you're not speeding, because they want to hustle money out there. We know that.
Yeah.
It is sad, because everything goes back to the state of the economy and how taxpayers' monies are being used properly.
Yeah.
We have an administration, I have to go into political politics, whereby taxpayers' monies are disappearing under questionable circumstances.
Yes.
And the police officers who are doing a very good job most of the times, because they are not properly remunerated, have to find other means to get remuneration.
Yes, also.
Right. So maybe just start it, Roger. There are officers who have to hustle to provide food for their family and educational expenses for their children because they are not properly paid. Because we have a government that when they get taxpayers' monies, the millions and billions disappear under questionable circumstances.
Yeah,
you see, a lot of this comes from the root of things. You know?
Yeah.
It is so sad. You know?
All right. So where tell me where to do? Where you do? Well, you know, say you go.
When a police officer stops you, you need to let him know that you know the law. Out of courtesy, again, we are civil people. Officer, what's your name? What's your badge number? On what basis are you stopping me? And you make a note. You show him also. Take out your pen and paper and make a note of his badge number, the name that he claims that he is, the time and date, the place. Because chances are that officer should not even have been at that spot at that time.
Okay.
You know how the system is.
Yeah.
You see, when the citizens know their rights, it is less likely for officers, agents of government to abuse those rights.
To do certain things. All right. So we know. You take out him pen. You take out your pen. And I write down him badge number and him name and all them. So where you ask me? Where you ask me for the name for? You say you speed.
No, a lot of officers, when I ask them for that, they tell me that too.
Yeah, but you name Mr. Singh and me name Muta, them now go tell me that.
Listen, in the same way officer wants to know my name, I am obliged to know that officer's name as well.
Yeah.
Remember, the police is not above the law. The police must also follow the law.
Yeah, but you see, you have certain youth that drive on the road. He can't go ask the police him name. Someone know where the youth are going to do in that case.
Well, you see,
where am I going to do?
It's a systemic problem that we have, you know, whereby police officers don't respect citizens, and it develops because of citizens not being aware of their rights. It also develops because of the problems that police officers have at times, so because of the crime problem.
Yes. Him get nervous too, you know. Police get nervous too, yeah. All right, hold on, I'm going to take a break and come forward. There upon the People's Court, I try to figure out the rights of the citizen when driving and get stopped by a police. What is really him supposed to do, or I'm not supposed to do. You know, I'm talking to a man who know what he's saying. He's a lawyer. I've no mean order. I think I remember that name somewhere. And I don't remember which part I know the name from, but I'm going to find it out soon. Him name Charles Ganga Singh. And him trying to explain to you about police stopping you up on the road and what is your right. So, Mr. Singh, if a police stop you up on the road, you not speed, apparently it's an ordinary road, you drive come on the road, and him say, go over so, and pull you over. And you sit down there, and him come to you, and say, make me see your driver's license. You can't refuse him.
Yes, you can. All right. He has enough apparatus on his system too. His system can detect who is the owner and everything. In fact, he can even see a picture of your ID on his system and know that is you or not. By going to the machine. He has all of those things already.
Well, I never see a policeman go for one of them yet, come right, you know. Them just start to say, you know, me say, I want to see your license, I say, but brethren, when I show me license for women.
All right, then suppose you have forgotten your wallet.
Yeah, so that may also know. So suppose you forget your wallet.
Yeah.
You must say you should have your license for you.
Yes.
So how you work that out?
You see, the problem, you know, is that, as I say, you know, I'm not fighting against the police per se, because they are good.
I understand. I'm not fight against them neither.
All right? And they are bad cops and they are good cops. But you see, the state of our society is that there are persons who are probably listening to this program and saying, but the officers, when they stop, you know, help you in your society to make sure, say, a gunman not come in your community, you know. I agree. And that is the dilemma that we are in. The police are probably protecting us by saying who should not be in a certain area if a man is coming in a certain area to do something that he's not supposed to do, man or woman. and at the same time, you also have your right for freedom of movement, whether you live in that area or not. So they wanted us to look on the scenery. So it's a give and take, you know. But nevertheless, in that give and take of how we function in society, the citizens need to know their rights so that they are not abused. Because part of society is that you still need to accept that there's a time when an officer is going to have to stop and check you, to check your doing. Okay? As to mention search, he cannot search you legally. He has to have a warrant to search you.
And search a car. I have a warrant to search a car too.
That's correct.
You can't just open, tell him to pull your bonnet.
No. The laws have been decided and been confirmed. These are clear scenarios.
Yes, yeah. Well, Bridget, I tell you the truth now. And I hear what you say, I understand what you say, you know, but you have some police out there, you know, like a 20-year-old youth that drive.
Yeah.
You know, and them stop him.
Yeah.
If him say where you are said him for do, you know, trust me, he mean a problem, you know, with the police.
Yeah, I agree. And you see, society is so unfair. For example, let's even go straight to the police force. The police are supposed to make a declaration of their assets every year. So I'm turning it back on the police themselves. And if they don't, they can be dismissed from the force. But the head of government, Andrew Holness, has not declared his assets in 3 years straight. So you see, when you have this kind of dilemma, where the head of government, the head of parliament, who makes the laws and supposed to follow the laws, are not following the laws.
Yeah,
that is part of the dilemma what was happening in society.
No, and the whole line, you can't say that on the radio, man. As a liar, you say that on the radio, that's a problem. No, you keep on
there's
saying.
No problem. Again, freedom of speech.
No. Eh?
I have freedom of speech to call Andrew Holness.
No, hold on. I say upon the radio.
No, it doesn't matter. There's nothing illegal.
All right. Well, I don't know, you get locked up, so I don't know what to say now. I don't know what to say at all. I don't know what to say.
Right.
Yeah.
There is nothing illegal about it.
No, but you're going to say it again. I'm begging enough to say it again.
Yes. You have a right to express yourself.
No, I know that. But remember I said...
Just like how you have a right to travel on the road.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? So, again, you get nervous a while ago when I call.
No, I don't get nervous because I know it's a radio station and them have a thing where to say...
Tell me what laws I broke by telling you how I feel about Andrew Holness.
No, it's not all where you feel about Andrew Holness, you know. It's where you say about Andrew, where you say. It's not where you go say it and them not lock you off. So I guess you can't say it because you're not lock you off and you're a liar.
My views about Andrew Holness.
No, me not say nothing. But we're going to have track now, though. We're going to have track.
I am one of the few attorneys who will demonstrate it straight up. When I do my interviews, you probably need to get copies of them. That's how I describe it.
Okay.
And there was an incident where somebody said something wrong against Andrew Holness. And then you heard that he was a police sent for him on them day.
Yeah, remember the video.
Yes, incidentally, I represented that gentleman.
Oh, yeah, you represent him?
Yes.
And what was the outcome?
Well, we have won the case. We're just waiting on costs now.
You win the case. You win the case.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the Attorney General, what has my client done? That is illegal.
Yeah. All right.
I am of the view that Andrew Holness is very corrupt. I cannot pinpoint it, so I cannot go and say, Andrew Holness, you are corrupt.
Yeah, but we know see them corrupt, but you was over
that view.
Yeah, but we
So
now we come off. Hold on, man. Yo,
Yeah.
we're going off track and on the car.
No, man, we're talking about rights.
Yeah, but you see, we're
And
going.
we're talking about the police.
Yeah, but we're talking about Andrew now.
No.
We're
But
talking about
I'm
police
just
who
showing you
stop
the extent with which rights.
Yes.
You know, you can't leave out the rights on the road with the police and leave out the rights of the citizens against
True.
a prime minister who they are of the view is corrupt.
Okay.
You can't leave one right and leave out and put in one and leave out the other.
Okay. All right. So
All
you
right.
are saying
You get nervous when I call Andrew all the time.
no? I get nervous because of the radio station.
Because
No, I know because you say well, and hear me just play a thing on the radio a while ago. A tune. You know if you did hear it. When me I say
tell me why you play.
there's a tune where say politician, if you at time we slap them in them face and carry them, go put them head in our nose. We just play a tune like that on the radio, Cocoa Tea. I years me I play it.
Cocoa Tea have a right to be of that view. You have a right to
but me play it
that
on the radio, but when me I say, anyway,
Yeah.
you're not going to come out fight. So, we can work out something. So, all right. So, the youth, when I talk about the youth now, the youth in the car where police
Yes.
stop.
Yes.
When him said no,
He has all right to do that.
no,
But
me
the
know,
police-
no, we said that
But
already.
we know that the police is going to abuse
And that we are talking about, the
their
abuse when we
authority
the youth.
and abuse that gentleman.
Yeah, so what do you must know, go get a lawyer
No,
the
he
next year?
can sue.
Yeah. All right, I can ask you a question.
Yes.
If a policeman stop you, you can take out your phone and tape him
Of course, you're right. You're entitled to do that.
because that's the only way you see them not have on a
That's
body
the only
camera.
way
And
we're going to
so.
have evidence against him because this government has not provided cameras for police officers. Cameras protect police officers and the citizens,
And the
but this
citizens,
government
yeah,
has
we
not
mentioned that.
provided that.
Yeah. So you say it can be done then. If I
Yes,
feel
but
like
you're not
say,
providing it. I am entitled to protect myself to show evidence.
yes. That is
But-
good.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Okay, sir. So I guess the time done, right in the
Yeah, the time done, and
I say it like that song.
Yeah,
say.
man.
All right.
Because I have a freedom of a right to express my
No, you
views
said
about
that. Yeah, man.
unholiness.
Yeah, but you said that already. And you gone for Andrew.
No, I need to emphasize it because
Yeah, but you
right,
said
as I
both
said,
same time.
It's
You said
not
both
one
same
piece of
time.
right and then you leave out another.
Yeah, but you said 7 times.
No, man, more than 7.
All right. So we don't need to say it again, brethren.
No,
So
sometimes you have
it's
to
kind of like a
emphasize it,
vendetta. No, it's a vendetta you work with, you're not say. You're not dealing
No,
with that.
I do have a political vendetta. I think
Yeah, but we are dealing with that, the citizens ride on the road. And you have this vendetta
part
now.
of the problem is a very head of the stream.
I don't care where you want to say about him, I just tell you, say.
No,
we
I agree. I know
talk about this. And you express your vendetta now against Andrew Wellness. And
I make no apology. I have a political
we
vendetta.
don't want you apologize, Me, I try to protect the program
No, you're
and the
trying
radio
to protect
station.
yourself and your radio
The radio
station.
station,
You
yeah.
have no problem
Yeah, all right.
because you have a right to interview a citizen who
Yeah.
has a right to express himself.
I understand that. We
Any
understand.
public official.
Yeah, but we
I am not
understand what you're
accusing him
saying.
of anything.
We understand what you're saying. We understand what you're saying.
So you see, it has to boil down. You don't take one piece of right and leave out another.
Yeah, all right. We have to go now because it's 4:30.
No problem. Big up every time.
Give thanks, brethren. Give thanks. Charles
Every
Ganga
time.
Singh.
Cool.
Yes, all right.
Cool.
Each time again we represent the name them. I will start with the male. Aduke. Aduke. A-D-U-K-E. Aduke. Means much loved. Much loved. Ajakeye. Ajakeye. A-J-A-K-A-Y-E. Ajakeye. Means universal struggle. Universal struggle. Changa. Changa. C-H-A-N-G-A. Changa means strong as iron. strong as iron. Ekiche, E-K-E-C-H-I, Ekiche, God's creation. So Aduke, A-D-U-K-E, much loved. Ajakeye, A-J-A-K-A-Y-E, Ajakeye, universal struggle. Changa, C-H-A-N-G-A, Changa means strong as iron. And Ekeche, E-K-E-C-H-I means God, creation. Field name, I like it. A-L-I-K-E, I like it. She is my favorite. Amina, A-M-I-N-A, Amina. Amina means faithful. Amne, A-M-N-E, Amne, means secure. And Ayana, A-Y-A-N-N-A, Ayana, she is a beautiful flower. So that's Alike, or like A-L-I-K-E, means she is my favorite. Amina, A-M-I-N-A, means faithful. Amne, A-M-N-E, Amne means secure. And Ayana, A-Y-A-N-N-A, Ayana means she is a beautiful flower.
And now the details. 233 firearms and thousands of rounds of ammunition have been seized by Jamaica Customs and the security forces. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang confirmed the massive gun and ammunition seizure at today's post-cabinet press briefing. He stated that so many guns designed to create mayhem were destined for the streets. Dr. Chang said the shipment comprised rifles and pistols. This shipment reportedly originated in the United States. He said the ammunition is still being counted and has surpassed 40,000 rounds. The National Security Minister pledged that those responsible will be tracked down.
I think the country will be happy to know we intercepted 233 firearms coming to the country. Special credit to increase scanning at our ports. But in the shipment, there were 233 firearms that can equip one company of soldiers. That going on our streets is designed to create mayhem. The security force, working with customs and all agencies, including our partners, will track them down, will find them. These organizers are worse than the shooters. They must be taken off the street. There are 32 rifles and the rest were pistols. And the security forces with customs is still counting ammunition. Last thing I heard, at one I heard 40,000 counting, 50,000 counting, and there's more. That level of ammunition on the streets with these weapons designed to create mayhem by a distorted and cruel mind, and that must be stopped.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. He said since the start of the year, 695 firearms have been taken off the streets. This represents 80% of firearms seized in 2024, which saw the highest number of gun seizures in many years. 895 guns were seized in 2024. 2 people were arrested in relation to the seizure of a firearm in Newport, Manchester last night. Constable Anisha Marshall, who is attached to the Newport police station, said the seizure was made at about 8:20 p.m. at a bar along Lime Tree Lane.
Officers from the Newport police station responded to a call re a loud noise at a bar on Lime Tree Lane in Newport. On the arrival of the police, a man was seen acting in a suspicious manner, dropped an object. On closer inspection of the object, it was revealed to be a 4.5 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 6.45 live rounds. A further search of the suspect's home was conducted, and another 4.45 rounds were found. 2 suspects were taken into custody.
Constable Anisha Marshall. The Clarendon police are renewing their call for the public to assist in locating a man who allegedly committed several robberies and rapes in Mapen, Clarendon. The appeal was first made last week after the man allegedly carried out the acts on May 21. In an update today, the Clarendon Division said the man is a suspect now connected with 10 robberies, 4 of which were committed last night. He is also accused of raping an individual last night. The man has not been identified by name, but lawmen provided a photograph of the person of interest. He is of dark complexion and sports a plaited hairstyle. Acting head of the Clarendon Police, Deputy Superintendent Anthony Garcadoza, said the man is considered armed and dangerous. Return home to rebuild, not to destabilize. That is the renewed appeal from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness as more Jamaicans are deported from the United States, some with criminal records. Noting that shifting immigration policies in the USA have placed many Jamaicans in difficult and uncertain circumstances, Dr. Holness stated that Jamaica is their homeland, they are not homeless or stateless, and they are welcomed here. 105 Jamaicans were repatriated from the USA today. The Prime Minister acknowledged the hardships faced by some Jamaicans living abroad, but cautioned against any attempt to import criminal conduct into the country. He warned that if a person's intent is criminal, they should expect to be dealt with firmly. The Prime Minister said those sent back to Jamaica should not come back to destroy their homeland or dismantle what the authorities have been working very hard to create. At the same time, he extended a heartfelt invitation to law-abiding Jamaicans abroad, encouraging them to return and help build a stronger, more prosperous nation. The Ministry of National Security, in collaboration with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, has been tasked with strengthening reintegration support for deported nationals, ensuring they are given avenues to contribute meaningfully while also protecting the safety and stability of communities. And Foreign Affairs Minister Camilla Johnson-Smith says monitoring and detention measures are in place and will be implemented where necessary for Jamaicans who have been deported. The country welcomed 105 Jamaicans repatriated from the United States today. Mrs. Johnson-Smith reiterates that the United States has close to 4,000 Jamaicans in their records with final orders for deportation. However, they are not being returned now. She explains that only 2,500 have been confirmed for removal from the United States and that this will be done over 2 years. She spoke to the concerns of Jamaicans about those being returned who have serious criminal backgrounds.
Where necessary, and I say this to citizens who are particularly concerned about those who return with serious criminal antecedents, monitoring and detention measures are in place. They will be applied. Again, stakeholders play key roles in helping us as partners in this reintegration and return process. And undoubtedly, there will be further updates on these matters. Jamaica remains committed, and the government remains committed, together with our partners, to treating all returnees with dignity and fairness while upholding our national security interests. The public will continue to receive updates from the relevant ministries as developments unfold.
Foreign Affairs Minister Camilla Johnson-Smith and National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang said the monitoring will include electronic tagging.
We are used to getting one plane load every month. Not new for us, and based on our cooperative agreements, it has been a smooth activity and has not created an issue, and we continue that. In 2023, we had 655. In 2024, we had 814. On 331, we have transition accommodation. Number may come without any connection. We take steps to ensure our citizens, when they come home, will welcome, and we look to how to will identify the challenges and deal with it appropriately. Yes, there are those who might come with a record. We'd also deal with that. We're looking at how we can introduce not only continuous police monitoring, but we are introducing very soon electronic tagging, so those who might be challenging to us, we find them.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. The ministers were speaking at a post-cabinet press briefing this afternoon. And the government has welcomed the United States Department of State decision to revise its travel advisory for Jamaica to level 2. The Level 2 alert, which urges Americans in Jamaica to exercise increased caution, is an upgrade from the previous Level 3 designation. The Office of the Prime Minister said the upgrade is an acknowledgement of the government's stride in improving public safety and ensuring a secure environment for both residents and visitors. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness lauded the development, noting that this revision reflects the hard work of the security forces and government agencies. He added that the authorities have been deliberate and data-driven in their approach to reducing crime and improving the safety of Jamaicans. Meantime, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, also welcomed the updates as a reflection of effective diplomacy and sustained engagement. She said Jamaica remains committed to maintaining international standards of safety and transparency in all engagements. And for his part, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett said the revised advisory will have positive impacts on Jamaica's tourism sector, while State Minister for Tourism, Delano Seavright, explained that these impacts include increased tourist arrivals owing to visitors' reduced fares.
This is huge and tremendously positive news. Jamaica has officially moved from Level 3 to Level 2 on the U.S. Travel Advisory. This upgrade will ease fares. It will send a strong signal to investors that Jamaica is safe and a great place to do business. And it also opens up new opportunities to boost our tourist arrival numbers from key markets and demographics that rely heavily or that tend to have a more than average focus on these advisories. So it's a win-win for Jamaica, it's a win for our economy, and a win for every Jamaican who is connected to the tourism industry and Jamaica on a whole. So it's a big step in the right direction, and we're very happy about it.
State Minister for Tourism, Delano Seavright. The opposition People's National Party, PNP, has given the governing Jamaica Labour Party 72 hours to rescind the appointment of Dennis Chung as Chief Technical Director of the Financial Investigations Division. Mr. Chung's appointment, which was announced by the Finance Ministry yesterday, takes effect next Monday, June 2. The PNP says this is a conflict of interest as Mr. Chung has made public pronouncements on cases which are being investigated by the FID. One such case relates to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness's finances. Last year, the Integrity Commission determined that no charge should be laid against Dr. Holness in relation to alleged reports of statutory declaration breaches, but referred the matter to the FID to be further probed. Speaking at a PNP press conference today, opposition leader Mark Golden said Mr. Chung, prior to his appointment to the FID, commented on that matter in the public domain and is therefore unfit to assume the post due to possible conflict of interest.
Mr. Chung has stated publicly positions on the matter, the most important matter that the FID will ever have had to investigate. Positions which have prejudged the matter and indicate that as far as he's concerned, there's nothing to investigate. It's all kosher. It's all above board. Somebody who has done that publicly cannot properly be appointed to run that agency tasked with investigating that matter. It would run a coach and horses through Jamaica's anti-corruption framework and undermine the rule of law and the reputation of our country. That's why we're taking it very seriously. And you'll be hearing more from us if the government doesn't do the right thing, or indeed if Dennis himself doesn't do the right thing and step away from this appointment.
PNP President Mark Golden and the party's General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell said if the appointment is not rescinded within 72 hours, action will be taken.
Enough is enough. We are giving this government 72 hours to rescind this appointment. And if they do not rescind it, there will be actions all over Jamaica.
PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell. The opposition noted that it is considering legal action. Meantime, the Jamaica Labour Party says the opposition's argument is hypocritical. Chairman of the JLP's Communication Task Force, Senator Abka Fitzhenley, cited a recent case where the People's National Party defended the appointment of Ronfi Lawrence to the Integrity Commission despite concerns raised by the JLP about potential bias. The JLP had highlighted that Mr. Lawrence appeared to have had a close friendship with PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell. Noting the PNP's concerns about Mr. Chung's appointment to the FID, Senator Fitzhenley accused the party of hypocrisy.
We hold no brief for Dennis Chung, but it is quite unfortunate that the opposition has chosen to attack an eminently qualified Jamaican who has been appointed to an important post. The argument of the opposition appears to be that because Dennis Chung is among one of many individuals who has commented on topical matters, and he appeared to come down on one side concerning a particular aspect of one issue in the public domain, then he should be disqualified from serving in a key position. That argument does not hold water. It cannot stand up to scrutiny. And indeed, it is hypocritical because this is the same opposition that not too long ago defended the appointment as acting corruption prosecution director at the Integrity Commission, an individual who has been publicly acknowledged by Dr. Dayton Campbell as his friend of 20 years. The opposition said no, absolutely no conflict of interest there. Shameless, convenient posturing, and there's a word for the positioning of the opposition, unprincipled.
He also sought to clarify that Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness did not make the appointment.
I heard as well Peter Bunting on a political platform suggesting that the Prime Minister made an appointment to the FID and raising the spectre of corruption. This is not so. Dennis Chung's appointment, from what I've been informed by virtue of what's in the public domain, was guided by a recruitment process supervised by the Office of the Services Commission, indeed conducted by the Office of the Services Commission. Therefore, Bunting must be advised that he will not be allowed to trample upon the good name of members of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Chairman of the JLP's Communication Task Force, Senator Abke Fitzhenley. Meantime, the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAMP, is calling for clarification of the recent appointment of Dennis Chung as the Chief Technical Director of the Financial Investigations Division. In a statement today, JAMP said the division's head must have the full confidence of the society, possessing the requisite qualifications, as well as demonstrated independence and impartiality. Markile Rumble reports.
According to JAMP, the FID is legally mandated to lead complex investigations into money laundering, financial crimes, and asset tracing, particularly where public officials are concerned. It added that the FID's remit includes collaboration with international bodies and local agencies, such as the Integrity Commission, Tax Administration Jamaica, and law enforcement, often in politically sensitive and high-value matters. JAMP said while Mr. Chung is a qualified chartered accountant, there is no known indication of prior experience in complex forensic investigations involving politically exposed persons and leading or managing law enforcement or financial crime teams, among other things. JAMP is therefore calling for further clarification of Mr. Chung's expertise in those areas. It also wants the Finance Ministry to clarify the selection process and criteria used to appoint Mr. Chung and share the job specification and qualifications profile that informed the appointment. Reporting for IRFM News, I am Markile Rumble.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has reaffirmed that educators will continue to be the cornerstone of the classroom, even as artificial intelligence, AI, reshapes the education landscape. Speaking at the Prime Minister's Medal of Appreciation for Service to Education ceremony yesterday, Dr. Holness emphasized that teachers play a vital role in preserving the value system that defines society. While he acknowledged that the role of educators may evolve in the age of AI, he underscored that teachers possess unique qualities and human connections that technology cannot replicate.
Every major milestone in a country's development begins in the classroom. In the age of artificial intelligence, where machines can solve equations and generate essays, do we still need educators? The answer is emphatically yes. Because while AI can process data, only an educator will see a child not getting medical attention that they need and take their time to get the school bus to take them, get their checkup, go in their pocket and ensure that the child is cared for. AI don't reach there so yet. So only the educator can develop character. So while technology can stimulate answers, only an educator can spark imagination and passion. So educators will continue to remain the center of the classroom. Your roles may change, You may not remain the ultimate source of information, because that's what AI is good at. It is the teachers that will protect the value system which defines the society.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and the Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon praised teachers for being more than just instructors. She highlighted their role as mentors and caregivers for students. The minister expressed appreciation for the dedication and compassion shown by educators, noting that their contributions often extend far beyond the classroom.
One of the most moving moments I had was with a teacher who was telling me about issues with parenting with the students at her school. And she said to me that there are many students who are ill at school and their parents do not take them to the doctor. And she said that between her and the school nurse, every single month they got the school bus to go to the adolescent clinic and take the children to the doctor when their own parents wouldn't. I know deeply, and I see it every week when I go to schools, that our teachers are doing much more than just teaching. You are a mother, you're a father, you're an auntie, you're an uncle, you're a counselor. You are there after school doing all of these wonderful activities with our children.
Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon. She was speaking at the Prime Minister's Medal of Appreciation for Service to Education ceremony yesterday. Opposition spokesman on education Damon Crawford has pointed out that a proposal by the People's National Party to create a hub-and-spoke transport system would be better for school children. He made the point while speaking last evening at the weekly virtual meeting of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, TODS. Crawford was outlining to the operators the nexus between education and transportation sectors, with a focus on how improved transport service can impact a child's ability to access education. He said while he appreciates that the governing Jamaica Labour Party has implemented a transport system for school children, that system has flaws, including the fact that many areas remain underserved. Crawford said the PNP's plan would involve participation by private transport operators, such as for rideshare, or operators of public passenger vehicles. He claimed that the JLP's plan neglects the fact that many students are coming from other areas which are not served by the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC.
This is why. The first reason is that the proposal to have space-to-space transportation neglects the first negative that I highlighted, that there are areas that people have difficulty moving from. So again, I'll use St. Catherine as the example. There's a bus transportation from Linstead to Spanish Town that the government is operating, 2 buses. Now, it therefore negates all the other splintered areas coming into Linstead. So Ty Dixon still have to reach to Linstead. Mount Diablo still have to reach to Linstead. So all the other places that still have to reach to Linstead, they are not accommodated. So to that extent, those areas that are underserved by transportation, whether government or private, are still left out.
Crawford added that the number of buses used is inadequate.
Additionally, the application of only 60 buses, well, if you look at political divisions, which are 224, you'll realize that 60 buses not even serve each division. The constituencies, which are 63, you'll realize that 60 buses don't even serve each constituency. And by extension, because of the time of travel and the inability to make multiple trips because of the traffic at that time, I don't see that bus carrying more than 2 trips, which would have mean 100 students. Per bus would have mean 6,000 students. It is an ineffective way to do so. And if it reached to 150 seaters, then it will carry 10,000 students with 2 trips. And these 10,000 would have to still find their way to a particular space.
He said a better system would be one similar to what is used by airlines.
So the way I believe that a school transportation system would have to run is to have something similar to what airlines use. It's called the hub and spoke system. So how the airlines operate is that you leave from all the places. Let's say I come to Jamaica. So a person from Utah will head to Miami. A person from Wisconsin will head to Miami. A person from Michigan will head to Miami. And then all of those amalgamate in Miami and move from there to a particular space. So if we use Manchester, for example, you need to have routes heading to Mandeville, and then you have a big bus or two heading from Mandeville to the different schools that offshoot into those particular spaces. So in the airplane conversation, they call it connections. So you'd have connections in different places. Sometimes you have all 2 connections or 3 connections before you move to the other place.
Opposition spokesman on education, Damien Crawford.